Hey everybody, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to my channel. I am here in Cincinnati on my way in to see Funny Girl, so let's go, I'm excited. Guys, this is the Aronoff Center in Cincinnati. It's where I see most of my musicals. This is just the lobby. We'll go in and look at the theater too.
Like, it's okay. Yeah, she was. She was like, you're gonna be okay.
Let's get my magnets. And I got my magnet. One more for the collection. Hey everybody. So last night is the night that I went to see Funny Girl down in Cincinnati. I got home and it was about 11:45, and I did record something last night, but I woke up this morning, I was like, that is utter nonsense. So I decided that I needed to re-record something for you guys. The musical was really fun, really good. I have never seen it before. There is, of course, the movie version starring Barbra Streisand from the 60s, I think. I've just never gotten around to seeing it. And of course, I've never seen it on stage. This is my first opportunity to see it on stage. So I really didn't know much about it at all, other than a couple of the songs, like People, very famous song. Same with Don't Rain on My Parade, Funny Girl, you know, a lot of famous songs from it that I knew, but I've never seen the musical. Now, I think I mentioned in my Hamilton video that for that one, I had been listening to the recording for months or a year or something like that before I finally saw the show. I actually tried to get the soundtrack for this from the library. And I struggled like through my library app, you know, I was trying to get it because that's how I do a lot of my soundtracks, because I'm too cheap to pay for a streaming service. So I was trying to find it through library and they didn't have it. And the reason I do that with a lot of musicals that I go to is because when you're there in the theater, you never know how the acoustics are going to be. You're never going to know how the actors and singers' enunciation is going to be. So a lot of times when I go to see a musical, like out of the blue, I find myself struggling so much to understand the words, or focusing so much on trying to understand what they're saying, that I'm not really enjoying the music. So what I do a lot of the times when I'm going to see a new musical is I will find the soundtrack, usually from the library. Usually I have no problem finding soundtracks for musicals from the library. And I just listen to it a couple times just to get an idea of like the songs and what the lyrics are, so that I'm not like struggling to understand them while I'm there enjoying the show. It's worked out really well for me. My friend was like, doesn't it like ruin the show for you? I'm like, no. A lot of times, you know, some of the plot points are in the music, but a lot of times it's not. And there'll still be a lot of surprises for me, you know, when it comes to the plot, when I get there to the show. But I am able to enjoy it a lot more because I know what they're saying, and I'm not like struggling like, what was that word? What are they saying? I don't know what they're saying, you know? And so I like doing it, but I was unable to do that for Funny Girl. So I did find myself a couple times last night, like, what were those words? And I feel like some of the songs, because it is a comedy, like there is some seriousness to it too, because Funny Girl is a kind of fictionalized, but kind of semi-biographical story of a vaudeville performer, a real one from the 20s, I think, named Fanny Brice. And so there is some like heartbreak and stuff like that, but it is largely a comedy because she was a comedian. So a lot of the songs, some of the songs that I'm like, oh, I feel like I would really be enjoying this more if I could understand what all the words they're saying, because I think this is probably a funny song. And there were several songs that they were just either speaking so fast, or a couple times that they were like kind of putting on accents and I was missing the words. And so I'm like, I really think I would be enjoying this if I could have listened to it like with headphones in, like the music with headphones in before I came, and that I could have caught what they were saying. And that way, when I saw them acting it out and performing it, I would have enjoyed it that much more. So it was a little disappointing, you know, looking back and remembering all the songs, like, yeah, I was missing words on that song, and I bet they were funny, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. So, just if you guys do decide to start going to musicals, or if you already do go to musicals, consider listening to the soundtracks first. Because even though I know that some people like to be surprised and things like that, and that's fair, you don't have to do this, but it might help you like get more out of the musical if you know what the words are already and know what they're singing about. Because it does for me. Now, this specific musical, I thought it was really funny. I thought the lead actress who plays Fanny Brice, her name is Hannah Shankman. And she was really good. She was really funny, had a lot of charisma. She has a wonderful voice and really carried the musical, because this is a show that kind of lives or dies by the lead actress. It's not really an ensemble like some musicals are. You know, it is, she has almost all the big solos, you know, and she has a lot of them. She is in almost every scene. She sings in almost every song. And so if she wasn't good, the whole musical was going to be not good. And she was great. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I do wish that I could have understand the songs. I will probably still make an effort to be able to listen to the full soundtrack a couple times just so I can try to catch those words. Maybe I'll go watch the movie with subtitles on. Maybe that's all I need to do. Maybe I should have watched the movie first. But yeah, it was fun. Now, even if you're not into musicals, one thing I do always recommend for people who are either single or find themselves doing a lot of stuff alone, you know, maybe your spouse travels or something like that. One thing I do recommend is going to see shows. Now, if you're not into musicals, maybe it's just a normal concert, maybe it's a comedian, maybe it's something like that. Because anything where you're sitting in the audience and not being asked to participate, I think is a great thing for you to do by yourself, because you don't have to have a companion to enjoy it. You're just listening to someone else do what they do best. And I think you can enjoy things like that on your own or with people. So if you are looking for something to do by yourself, start looking into stuff like this. Maybe, you know, plays, musicals, concerts, stuff like that. You can find cheap tickets, usually, as long as you're not too picky about where you sit. And I'm obviously not, because I am a cheap person. So, yeah, so look for those tickets and you should be able to find them pretty cheap. Well, if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. And if you want to follow what I'm doing in real time rather than waiting for me to post my videos, go ahead and go over to Instagram and follow me at Lead the Life Vlog. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.